What's going on, guys? Welcome back to What Cheers. I'm Nick, as always. Today is a absolutely ridiculous review. Obviously, King Julius from Treehouse Brewing Company alongside Julius. Funny enough, over the past couple of years, I've reviewed regular Julius at least twice on camera already and have not posted it for whatever reason. So it's just perfect that I get to pair it with the King. And both of these came out at the same time, April 25th. So it's about a week and a half old at this point, which was actually sort of recommended by Nate to let the beers settle down a little bit since they had just been kegged and canned that day. So I've done just that, and it worked out well because I've had a head cold the past week and I haven't been able to really smell or taste anything. So I'm really excited to try this. I did get to try King Julius on tap, actually at a tap invasion that Treehouse did. But like I said, I was sort of under the weather and couldn't really appreciate it or get into it. So I'm really lucky I got a growler of this. It was a one per person deal at the brewery only, and it was sort of a secret release. This beer was really brewed because it sort of embodies the history of Treehouse. It hasn't been brewed in 3 years. It was one of the first beers that Nate did that he, obviously never made again. And in the description of King Julius, it talks about how since he last made this beer 3 years ago, they've commissioned 2 new brewhouses. They've moved their brewery twice. And it just talks about meeting all the amazing supporters and friends along the way in the journey of Treehouse thus far. So it sort of encapsulates just their entire existence up until now. And obviously they're known worldwide and making some of the best beers in the world, and everyone knows about them now. Speaking of that, Julius is the #1 IPA, American IPA on BeerAdvocate. Took a long time to get there, but it is there, and I don't think it's going anywhere. I mean, it is really, in my opinion, the best IPA made today. So we're going to get into these guys, and I can't wait to compare the two. Never thought I'd get to do this, and especially fresh like this. I just never thought this would happen. So obviously, guys, King Julius is the, for lack of a better word, it's the double version of Julius, and it's, again, brewed with all American hops. The hops are not specified. That's been pretty much kept secret throughout the history of Julius. So both American hops and basically just a double version of itself. So let's crack open the Julius and King Julius and do a side-by-side right now. Julius is 6.8% alcohol. King Julius is 8.3% alcohol. And that is all I'm going to say. I'm going to shut up and get into this review. Alright, guys, got both the Julius and King Julius poured out here. Wow. Yeah, this is really exciting. Total beer geeking out at this point. Let's get a look here. Color-wise, wow, I shit you not. The King Julius is literally a glowing, like a red-orange, completely glowing. That looks almost unnatural. It's pretty crazy. Julius looks very orange, dark orange. Yeah, it just looks like pretty much, orange juice or a fruit blender, a mixture kind of thing. It just looks amazing. So I got a little bit of a head here on the King Julius. It's dissipating kind of fast, but you can see it. I mean, it was like a 2-finger head, but it's dissipating. It's an off-white head, tight kind of bubbles there, and looks very kind of creamy. Didn't really get a head on the Julius, but I was pouring out of the can, so yeah, I've been sharing these with my dad, so yeah, I can recirculate the head a little bit, but it's pretty much the same color, tight bubbles. But yeah, just the comparison in the color alone, I don't know if you can see the kind of bright, hazy, dark orange of the King Julius, and Julius is just a little bit more of a muted orange color, but both are completely hazy. You're not going to see anything through these beers. Let's go ahead and get an aroma, starting with the regular Julius. Wow, this is so wonderful. This smells exactly like the first time I ever had Julius. And I think that's really what this should be all about. This beer has become, like I said, the #1 IPA, and everyone knows about it now. But when I first had it, it was just, they were such an unknown brewery, and this beer just completely changed my mind about what an IPA could be, beyond all my wildest expectations. It's juicy. It just smells like pure, fresh, blended juice of peach, of orange, of grapefruit. Just an absolute a multitude of tropical fruits and citrus fruits that just doesn't even smell like a beer, really. It's just that way far and above what you consider or what you're used to from an IPA. It's sweet, and everything sort of just melds together. It's unbelievable. Yeah, it just smells like a tropical fruit juice, period. There's some hoppy kind of resinous in the background, but you really gotta search for it. It's just straight up juice, like beer juice. It's crazy. Let's go ahead and get an aroma on the King Julius and see how it compares. Oh my God. Holy shit. Oh wow. Yeah. So takes everything that I just said about Julius and just really just elevates it. Just kicks it up a couple notches. Really getting that sweet pineapple, mango, peach, a lot of just that overripe flesh of the fruit kind of thing going on. Getting some presence of a really like in-your-face hop bite, sort of resinous, sort of like what you can find in Julius, but just it's really amped up to the next level. You don't smell any alcohol. 8.3%, you're not smelling it. These beers have been kept out of the fridge for about 20 minutes, so again, I always try to review them not freezing cold, but yeah, it's just juicy, juicy, juicy. Huge peach notes in this one. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get a sip. Both of them smell, I feel like you can tell it's based on the same beer, which is really cool. It doesn't smell like a completely different beer. It just smells like an amped up version of itself, which is exactly what it should be. Let's go ahead and get a sip of the regular Julius, guys. Been a long time coming. Cheers. Oh my God. Oh man. It's just not even beer anymore, people. This is just ridiculous. Julius, man. It really reminds me of the first time I had Julius. Like, that's how well this beer has been taken care of and perfected over the years, that it's in a can now, and it still tastes like the first time I ever tried it years ago at the brewery. Everything that I get in the aroma, get in the taste. It delivers on every level. Sweet, tropical fruits, citrus fruits. Heavy on the orange, heavy on the peach, pineapple, mango, that kind of thing. But what you don't detect in the aroma is the amount of hops that you got on this thing. It just punches your tongue with hops all the way through. Super, super aggressively hopped. And it just blends so well. Whatever American hops he's using for this beer, it just is the perfect blend of this really juicy, bright tropical thing, and then it just dives into this really heavy, pithy, kind of biting hop character, dries out the tongue in the finish. It's just perfect. There's like no freaking bitterness on Julius. It's just sweet, sweet hop juice, and then dries out your tongue, and then it's just like you want more in your face immediately. It's got a creamy mouthfeel for an IPA. These guys have perfected that sort of thing. and it just lingers, like it just sort of sticks to your mouth. This whole beer just sticks to your mouth. The juices, the hops, it's just unbelievable. That piney sort of resinous hop character comes in the finish, playing off the citrus fruits, the pithy kind of notes, the tropical fruits. It's just ridiculous, guys. And of course, you don't taste the 6.8% alcohol. Not that you'd expect to, but unbelievable stuff. All right, moment has come. Time for a taste of the King Julius, my friends. Long live the king. Cheers. Oh my god, it is so amazing and so funny how perfectly done this beer is. Holy shit. Wow. It is like, yeah, I'm just speechless. This is beyond my expectations of this beer. Wow, I cannot believe how just perfectly done this is. You're already with the best IPA, and then you go to this, which is clearly going to be the best double IPA if it's done right? So the juiciness is taken up even another notch. I mean, it's obviously it's higher alcohol, so there's sort of more of everything going on, but it almost doesn't even seem like it's a higher alcohol percentage, because you just can't even taste it. You can't smell it. It's just ridiculously juicy. All the same flavors in the Julius, just taken up another notch. I definitely sense more of a body to this one, more of a... It's just beefier for what it is. I mean, it's a little bit sweeter. Definitely is very aggressively hopped. And maybe more, I mean, it's definitely more hoppy than Julius, let's be honest. But it really, you can tell King Julius is the double version of Julius, and I just think that's a wonderful thing. Yeah, all the tropical fruits, all the citrus fruits, just overflowing, just washing over your tongue. As I'm talking, I mean, the flavors that you're left with are just unbelievable. Again, no presence of alcohol in the taste. A really sort of smooth, creamy mouthfeel, and a very smooth sort of falling off your tongue. Not as drying as the Julius sort of goes off your tongue and it dries you out real quick with it, like really biting hop bitterness, or hop bite, I should say. This one sort of just lingers a little bit longer with the flavors in your mouth, and the drying is sort of slow, and you're just left with all the flavors. It sort of just coats your mouth, almost like what a stout would do, but in a double IPA. It's showcasing all the hops. That's what Nate does. He knows how to pull the most ridiculous stuff out of hops. Pretty much very light, feels pretty light on the malt bill for me. I just think it's amazing. Incredible. It's what I was hoping for. It sort of, had unlimited expectations considering what Treehouse has done. And I'll come back to you guys in a couple minutes with my final thoughts and do one more quick taste of them both for you guys. But yeah, they're perfect temperature right now and they're warming up nicely. So get back to you guys in another minute, but couldn't be happier, and just phenomenal stuff. Alright guys, so I'm back after sipping on the Julius and King Julius for a little bit, talking with my dad here. This has just been an amazing afternoon, because we're just drinking two of the best beers on the planet together this afternoon, and what a treat. I mean, you probably already knew going into watching this what I was going to say, or whatever, but really my expectations have been exceeded as far as the King Julius is concerned. This Julius batch, like I said, really brings me back to my first time ever going there, which is really wonderful, because this is what this King Julius was all about, was reflecting on the past 3 years of Treehouse. And for me, it's definitely a reflection as well. I've had so many amazing memories there with my mother and father. And I know my mom would love to be here. This would be like the most exciting tasting for her ever. So it's a little bittersweet. But I'm here with my dad, and we know she's here with us. So we're gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna give you guys another quick smell and taste on these both, and I'll give you my scores. Julius again, super just juicy, just a lot of that, you know, throw the fruits in the blender kind of thing, and then here it is, carbonated. Just so juicy. And completely delivers on the palate. Absolutely perfect balance of that just straight tropical fruit, citrus juice blend with that resinous, piney, hot bite in the finish. Sort of some of that pithy orange peel note, but just so damn drinkable. I mean, it's so drinkable. And then the King Julius. Oh man, it's just getting even better as it warms up. It's just, you know, if you're an IPA lover and you love this beer, of course you're gonna love a double IPA version of the same beer, right? I mean, it just makes sense. And he really nailed it. I mean, it's just everything Julius has amped up to a double IPA. Everything's scaled up perfectly. Yeah, I mean, it is literally the same beer doubled. So super sweet, juicy, really biting like hops in your face. It doesn't quit all the way through the palate, and the finish, you know, it just slides off the tongue, and then it's just sort of creeping in, sort of drying character to it. But the flavors in the King Julius just coat your mouth. I mean, it just stays there and stays there and stays there. Like I said before, like an imperial stout almost. And again, if you can see the color on this thing, the King Julius looks like it's radioactive. I mean, this thing is literally glowing like a red-orange color. Yeah, it lived up to every expectation you could have, even for a huge Treehouse fan like myself. And yeah, that's just it, guys. As far as the score, well, obviously Julius is 100 and has a lot of ratings now, so that's not just like a bullshit 100. It is the #1 IPA for a reason now. And I'm going to go ahead and give it the 100 because in the other reviews I shot of it that I never posted, also gave it 100, and I was reviewing this beer 2 years ago. And yeah, it still is like the original Julius. It is so far and above what you expect or think beer would be, especially 2 years ago when I first had it. But even now, almost nobody can even touch this level of brewing. And as far as the King Julius, well, it's 100. It's 100 plus. If this is 100, this is 100 plus, because it is absolutely worth it. And yeah, there's no bullshit there about that. This beer is the real deal. Believe the hype. If this beer had more reviews right now, it would be the highest rated double IPA ever made, easily. But unfortunately, I know a lot of you guys aren't going to get to try it, which is why I wanted to do this review, so you could just get a feel for it, and maybe if they ever do brew it again, you can get to try it. I really would hope so. And maybe some of you were lucky enough to get it, and I hope if you're watching, you let me know what you thought of it, and I'm sure you did the same thing I did and compared to Julius, so let me know, please, what you thought, if you agree with me, disagree, whatever. But yeah. Just absolute perfection. Juicy, sweet, hoppy, and big. You can tell it's a double IPA, but it drinks so good. Anyways, guys, that's it. I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for watching this probably long review, but that's okay. This one's definitely worth it, I think. So remember to comment, subscribe. Let me know if you've had these beers, either Julius on its own or if you had the King Julius or both. I'd love to know your thoughts and what you think. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to say cheers. We're going to go with a King Julius to say cheers. See you in the next beer review, guys. Thanks a lot. Cheers.